Okay, welcome back to video number 2 for our L block, where we're working with holes. We're going to put in our hole notations today, and here is our drawing file. Again, it was just cropped to show the section isometric top view. In video 1, we drew everything, we placed our points for our top 4 holes, and now we want to go ahead and add those in to Onshape. So this first hole that we're looking at is a countersink hole. It's a through hole. Here's the diameter. Here's the diameter of our head top and the degree. So in Onshape, in our block, what I like to do is go over here to the rendering options and change this to translucent. Doesn't matter. It's entirely a personal preference. Along the quick access toolbar now, let's select hole. Now it's waiting for us to tell it which hole, and it is this first hole here. So the first thing you need to tell it is what is the hole style. Is it simple, counterbore, or countersink? In this case, it is a countersink hole. And the second is the depth. Instead of it being a depth or blind, we're actually going to go through the whole part. Then we can fill in the other necessary components. So the 82-degree angle for the head here is pretty standard. The diameter on the head is 1 inch, and then the diameter of the actual shank is 0.75. So now that we have it, I mean, you can rotate this around and look at it, but that's pretty much what we have. We can accept that. And what you're going to notice, again, is our sketch now goes away because Onshape thinks we're done. Just come over to the browser tree, turn it back on, and our points are here. So let's look at our second hole. Our second hole here is just a simple hole that is 0.65 inches in diameter, and it is to a depth of 1.5 inches. So let's select our second point. We'll go to the QAT, select hole. We're going to change this to a simple hole, and it is a blind hole because it goes down a certain depth. The diameter is 0.65, and the depth is 1.5 inches. And once we have that, we can go ahead and accept it. And now you're going to notice the sketch stays active for us. Now Onshape has recognized that we want to continue to use it. So our third hole, we'll look over here. This is a counterbore hole. It is a counterbore hole. Our top portion is a diameter of 1 inch down to a depth of 0.25. And then the diameter of the actual shank going all the way through is 0.7 to a depth of 2 inches. So we'll select our hole. We're going to change this to a counterbore. This is still a blind hole. Now we look at the top, the diameter of the actual portion here for us is going to be 0.7. The diameter of our counterbore portion is 1 inch. The depth of our counterbore portion is 0.25, which we have, and then the depth of the part is not 1 inch, it's actually 2 inches. And we can accept that. Our final hole on the top here is just a simple through hole, and it is a diameter of 0.7. So we'll select our fourth point from the top. We'll go to hole from the quick access toolbar. We're going to change it from counterbore to simple. Change it from blind to through, just make sure it's through, and the diameter up is 0.7. And we can accept it. Now we have our 4 holes. We just need to add our final one on the bottom. So the final hole on the bottom, we're going to keep it on that same perimeter. I'm going to put it right in the center of this part, which happens to be 3 inches by 2 inches. And if we look down here, it is a 1/2 inch diameter to a depth of 1 inch. So we'll rotate our part over. We are going to Shift S to add a new sketch to the bottom. Right click, view normal to sketch plane. Let's turn this over here so it's in the same orientation. And now I need to add a point, and I'm going to find the midpoint, and I'm going to put it right here. And I need to dimension it because I know this whole part is 2 inches. I'm actually going to dimension this right to the center at 1 inch. And now I can add my hole notation, which is again a 1/2 inch to a depth of 1 inch. So we'll accept this. We'll select hole. This is a simple hole that is blind, and it is a 1/2 inch in diameter, and it is to a depth of 1 inch. And now I can rotate this part, and I have my holes. Alright folks, that'll do it for this part. Check back for video number 3 where we change the material so that you can answer the question on Pear Deck. Take care and see you in a bit.